If you're moving to Florida, you need to know about some of the most common homeowner fees that you're going to find in our area. In this video, I'll tell you exactly what to look out for. Don't go anywhere. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Andrea. I've been a realtor in Jacksonville for 19 years. Today, I want to talk to you about some of the most common fees you'll need to know about if you're new to the Northeast Florida area and planning to buy a home. For example, if you've never lived in Florida, you might not even know what a CDD fee is. These fees may not necessarily be deal breakers, but you may be shocked to find out just how much they can impact your budget and your responsibilities as a homeowner. I'll also answer the number one question on everyone's mind. Can these fees go up over time? So here we go. Let's start with HOA or Homeowners Association fee. This is one you've more than likely heard of. A Homeowners Association or HOA is pretty common. Most planned unit developments will have an HOA. A planned unit development is just a subdivision that consists of homes and any common areas or amenities that are for the residents' use, like tennis courts, a community pool, or maybe a fitness center. The HOA owns and is responsible for maintaining these common areas and shared amenities. And each homeowner pays a fee to the HOA that goes towards the upkeep. The fees can vary quite a bit. It depends on the neighborhood size and the level of amenity. We have some communities here in Jacksonville with fees as low as $150 to $200 per year. But then you also have communities that have more to offer their residents, like maybe a gated entry that may or may not have a security guard. You could have resort-style pools, a golf course, a state-of-the-art sports complex. You get the idea. The fees in these types of communities can be several $1,000s per year. HOA fees are paid separate from your mortgage and can be due annually, quarterly, or even monthly. HOAs also enforce a set of community standards or rules, also referred to as covenants and restrictions. These rules can include dictating any improvements or changes that can be made to the exterior of your home. Some may see having an HOA as a negative because I get it, you don't want anyone telling you what you can or can't do with your own property. But these rules are really in place to help maintain a standard aesthetic throughout the community and to protect overall home values. Hi everyone, Andrea here. Thanks so much for watching today. If you're enjoying this content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Now let's get back to the video. Violations are usually addressed by sending a letter to the homeowner and giving them a certain amount of time to remedy the violation. This is where things can get serious, because if a homeowner gets a notice of a violation and does not fix the problem, the HOA can start to levy fines. Fines are attached to the property as a lien. And this is the shocking part. An HOA does have the power to foreclose on a property due to unpaid fines, or even if your regular HOA dues go unpaid. And this is regardless of whether you're up to date on your mortgage payments or even own the home outright. So the bottom line is, if you're purchasing a home in a community with an HOA, you're agreeing to pay the association fees and abide by the covenants and restrictions. So just be sure to review those rules prior to your purchase so you're aware of your obligations as a homeowner and to make sure there's nothing outrageous that you can't live with. Next up, what is a CDD fee? You'll hear this term and come across communities with CDD fees quite often in our area, as well as other areas of Florida. A CDD is a community development district. It's actually a government entity created by land developers to finance and manage the public infrastructure and the amenities within a planned unit development. So basically, the developer takes out a loan from the state of Florida in the form of a bond to build the sewer systems, roads and sidewalks, parks or recreational areas, community pools, golf courses, and any other amenities you would find in a planned subdivision. These fees are typically seen in the larger developments that have the luxury resort style amenities. CDDs started being established in our area in the early 2000s, and most of the newer communities with the higher level of amenities will have them, especially in St. Johns County. Homeowners pay an annual CDD fee, which is attached to that specific property and is used to repay the bonds. So the annual CDD fee is paid through the property taxes, which for most people, taxes are escrowed, and it's part of your monthly mortgage payment. A CDD fee has two parts. The bond repayment, which has a set amount assessed for each property. It's spread out over the course of usually 20 or 30 years. So the bond portion can eventually be paid off over time. Or some homeowners choose to pay it off all at once, which can save you some money on the interest because it is technically like a loan. Then there's a second part to that annual fee, which is an operations and maintenance fee. This part never goes away. So for example, a property may have a total CDD fee of $2,500 paid annually through the property taxes, of which $500 of that is the operations and maintenance fee. The amount can vary, but once the bond portion is paid off, you would only continue to pay the $500 per year. And that's still going to be through the taxes. If you're looking at homes in CDD communities and the cost is a concern, ask your agent to find out the remaining amount owed on the bond. Because sometimes, depending on the amount, you can negotiate with the sellers to have that paid off at closing. And it can end up saving you several $100s per month. Something you might not know is a CDD community typically also has an HOA. Although in most cases, if there's a CDD fee, the HOA is very minimal, maybe a couple $100s a year. The HOA is accountable for enforcing the deed restrictions and overall neighborhood conditions, while the CDD handles the general maintenance and will pay off the community amenities and infrastructure. Because a CDD is a type of special purpose local government entity, it does possess certain legal powers similar to those held by cities and counties. Now let's talk about condo association fees. If you're considering a condominium, you'll also want to factor in the condo fees, which is very similar to an HOA fee, but it's specific to condominium buildings or complexes. A condominium is just a different property classification, and it has more to do with ownership rights. Condo owners have title to their own individual unit and shared ownership of the building's common areas. Condo fees are generally higher than HOA fees because it covers not only exterior building maintenance like painting, roofs, and landscaping, but also things like elevators, lobbies, and any other shared spaces. Sometimes the monthly condo fee also covers certain utilities for the individual units, like water and sewer, or sometimes cable and internet. It also includes a master insurance policy for the building and complex. You'll still have to get an additional insurance policy to cover the interior of your unit, your belongings, and to cover you for certain liabilities. Condo associations also have deeds and restrictions that owners must adhere to, just like an HOA, but they often have more stringent rules focusing on noise, use of common spaces, sometimes guest policies, or certain restrictions on renting the unit, and even alterations to the inside of individual units. So the big question that's on everybody's mind, can any of these fees go up? The straight answer is yes, it is possible. How often we see it and how much it goes up varies quite a bit and can depend on the individual community declarations. But both condo associations and homeowners associations have the right to increase fees. And this can be for a variety of reasons, like increasing costs of maintenance, property insurance, or unexpected repairs to common amenities. I will say we do tend to see increasing fees and special assessments more often with condos versus homeowners associations for single family homes, mostly because there's more overall maintenance to condos. While there's really no way to predict future assessments or the amount or frequency that fees could increase, I always recommend inquiring about the history of the association and reviewing the financials, and more specifically, how much do they have in reserves to cover major repairs or maintenance. If it's a well-established and well-managed association, or there are minimal amenities, it's less likely you'll see major changes over time. Each of these entities has its unique characteristics and implications for homeowners. The fees associated with each also differ, with CDD fees typically being part of property taxes and HOA or condo fees being separate payments made by the homeowners. It is possible to live in a master planned community that has all three. So definitely do your homework so you can make informed decisions when purchasing a property in Florida. Thanks for joining me today. If I can help you at all with your move, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'll see you next time.